Hello, welcome to the Zero Ends channel. Please like and subscribe. Please enjoy our live.
So I'm gonna bring her up and then let her say what she wanna say, and then we'll call it a night, y'all.
It's a man, not a woman.
Oh, it's a man, it's a brother. Hey brother, how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, man. You know, well, I've been there not many times, but you recognize it.
I have seen you up here before.
Yes. My thing, 'cause I saw the title and I've been falling in and out. I'm doing my thing a little bit. So they came by Chicago and they just left and about to go to another city to do some little more rain with the military.
Apparently, no. When we played the clip that it was, I don't know what it was. It seems like they're alluding to the fact that it was probably a lot of protests. I guess they were protesting a lot in Chicago in the streets, and they were talking about how many people were out there. So it was a lot of pushback. And you know that the mayor doesn't really want him there. So he's been giving constant pushback as well. And so I guess some of that maybe deterred it. So Trump said just this morning that they were not going to go into Chicago, that they really wanted to go there, help them clean up the crime like they did in DC. And but since that's not happening, he said they are headed to Memphis. He claimed he spoke with the governor and the mayor, and they're excited to have them there. They want their presence. The mayor got on TV and said he didn't think that was the answer, but he did say that they were coming. It's like he was overridden by the governor, I think.
Okay. Oh, I see. That X, you put that as a picture thumbnail near the bullish. You just place it there.
What? Oh, the yellow one?
Yeah. Is that you moved with the StreamYard to cover it?
No. So that's like on YouTube. When you do your channel, they ask you if you have like a logo or something, or if you're on StreamYards, it's like the logo that you put in and they put it in the corner of the screen. It's just right over the thing because
of the cussing?
No, because of how small the screen is right now. Usually it's on the other end. If it was a big screen,
okay. I thought you did that. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's the logo for my network.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, they run some operations here and there. I think DC was more easier because that's where the president lives. So obviously he has more control to put military action. Really true. They really wanted to do it in certain cities, most likely where we reside mostly. Cause when they talk about say we're going to just clean up the crimes and all that. What do you mean clean up the crime? You talking about urban areas where black people reside? Because you're not cleaning all crime. Because when we talk about criminality, you separate your criminality to everybody else's criminality. You get me? Look at the Mr. Kirtland situation. And come to find out, and I'm not going to really talk much about it, but, we got to use their common sense here. This is not no normal just deletion. This was an actual hit done professionally, because the place that he got deleted is in a university that has cameras everywhere. So a person to do that, they have to be orchestrated, planned out, have someone help, all that stuff. We should be thinking ahead of time instead of accepting and say, we found the person, we could now rest. No, you put this out here as a distraction.
I think so too.
But what you did under the last 2 days after 9/11 or during 9/11, which really is, the celebration, right? That what you had in stores that you signed away or you did that no one was really paying attention. You get me? Cause think about it. This man helped this president get in office. You get me? He's very close to this part. So, and mind you, they don't mind taking people out to either make an example or a sacrifice, one or the other. You get me?
I agree. I think he was kind of like a sacrifice. I think that him dying, they knew he would be martyred. They knew that it would cause tension.
Exactly.
That's what they're trying to do.
That's what I'm concluding, because the way how it was done, the way it is now, mind you, anytime someone did it that's unexpected, they'll be snatched up in less than 12 hours. It won't take long. But this took like what? Today? They said it's got this person.
Yeah, it took 2 days. They said they didn't even find him. They said his father turned him in.
That's what they want us to believe.
Yeah, because for him to shoot that man like that from that distance, my question is, where did he learn to shoot like that?
But think about this. Look at him and if we look at the people that do these things and look at them from head to toe, say, boy, you got no military experience. Even if you got trained outside the field shooting, that's different from actually doing a hit from a long distance to where it said it happened. You gotta be really trained. You get me? And mind you, they said the weapon was used was a highly expert marksman gun. Where do regular civilians, Michi, get access to highly marksman guns?
And I haven't heard that he has a military background. He's only like 22 years old.
That's what I'm saying. So right there, the story, it doesn't make sense. It's not adding up.
Somebody said, okay, his father was a sheriff. His dad is a military veteran.
It don't matter. It don't matter. This, for somebody to commit an assassination from this distance, you gotta be really trained. Really trained. I don't care who background is. He could show you some things, but when actually initiating the actual hit and able to evade and escape without no cameras, no detectors, nothing, that's an actual, like you said, either sacrifice or political hit. One way or the other. You get me? And mind you, Charlie Kirk, now we talking about, I don't know the dude, but he's not really like super special. He's not like Nick Fuentes that's really more known. You get me? And I hear about a few people that are so-called white supremacists, like these dudes that talk about black people mostly to build their audience, because that's how they build an audience. Because really true, when you hear these people talk, they always talk about what, Michi? The crime in Chicago. Black people are and we're not 13%. I don't know why people still using 30%. I'm not going that argument. And said we are doing like nearly half the deletions in the United States. Not to kind of say you mark and label who is this and that when it comes to deletion. We have to look for the data and look at the statistic and say when we talk about everybody in America, which they are the majority, how is this small percentage that you keep referring to as small, which we're not small, but you know, that's doing most of the deletions, but you're doing more killings and you have no excuse doing these things because you have everything. Last time I checked. You're doing this for fun, for spite, because you're bored. You get me? Mr. Kirtland, like any Muslim dudes, they tell black people, really, you know, black men, but it's another story, because they really want to say, you know, you Negroes are the problem. I just really want to purge you. You get me? There's no excuse. When you do something, it is all your fault. And really, truly, they will say, I just want to purge you. That's what they're telling in the long run. They're not telling most white people, you don't see it because you don't watch their movies. When I first watched The Purge years ago, I did not know and really pay attention to subliminal message. They're not just doing a little craziness. The first they target what? Small people, which is blacks, and you know maybe they work their way around the color line. You get me? So if they really want open season, which really the system protects them enough, they would say, I'd rather just tell you you're the problem. And really this, I'm not saying the ones that's the gang's problem. I'm talking about all you. The ones that's productive, may not productive, you're the problem. So if I delete you, I should have no sympathy. I should look at it and say, you were evil, you did some bad, you deserve it. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And say black people should not what be. And most black people that either says something about this dude or not, most black people, I'm being honest with Michi, are indifferent. The ones that really capable for this is because they want to please their white conflict. And that's really shameful because why are you pleasing people that really by nature and they're showing it constantly for their actions, they don't like you. You get me? You be playing favors. And mind you, think about it. Every time when they do this to us, do you know they're always trying to look for the closest Negro to say who's going to got their back? Who's got sympathy?
Mm-hmm. And
they try to bait questions black folks when they're around either workforce or something about their views. And black people should know. So you say, just tell them simple. You don't give them. Just say, I'm indifferent. I don't know the person. You get me? You don't give them no information because really, what is your purpose asking me about some dude that shown history that he's already shown he don't like black folks, and he built his whole network because really truly when they go back to the catalog or when somebody lose their life, they go back what they've been doing for the last couple of years because the internet's forever. They put tweets, they put things negative, derogatory of people, including us. So how any black person, if they really look at who they're caping for, to know so this person really didn't like you. And now he didn't like you, he don't see nothing positive about you. You get me?
Well, Officer Tatum and Candace Owens cried online because they claimed they showed a lot of pictures. Candace said that was her best friend. Don't ever.
I bet it was.
Tatum was crying harder than Candace. Like, I'm sure he had snot coming out his nose. He was crying and he was trying to sell t-shirts to collect money. Talking about he gonna give it, all the funds gonna go to his wife. But they said that's their friend. But we know that Candace and Officer Tatum love hanging with those groups of people. They're always talking down on black people all the time. Somebody said Tatum was weeping. He was.
They gotta make their money, Michi. Listen, and I know Officer him, he's fronting. It's same for Candace to a degree. Let's say you guys got coon extra hard to get simply from these people so they keep paying your bills. I understand it. I understand it well. Hell, I think Tim had a conversation with a guy that was from Israel lately. I don't know if you ever covered this.
Yes, you talking about Officer Tatum? He interviewed Netanyahu.
Yeah, I was surprised. How you get access to McNair? Isn't it Netanyahu from Israel? Why?
Yes, he is. The thing is, I heard that they've been going. Well, it's not. I've heard it's true. They've actually been like paying media to try and project a different narrative about them so they don't seem like the bad guy. So they're doing these runs, and he decided to go on the Token Negroes channel that would let him come on there and have an interview. I think it's crazy that somebody that is that big of a person from Israel to come over and to speak on somebody's YouTube podcast, like really. But this is the thing, this is the funny thing about when Tatum did that, because he calls himself talking down on black people all the time. But when he did that, do you know that his whole audience turned on him, and they start I won't say his whole, he still got views, but the white people was running him through the winger. Now they're calling him racist names and everything. And that shows you that they're only cool with you when you're saying what they want you to say. When you step out of line, they let him have it for defending Israel. I think he got paid to have Netanyahu on there. They said, we're going to pay you because they've been paying people. I think they paid him to come on there, and he sold out to them to say he stand with Israel. And people have been talking mad shit about him for days.
Well, you gotta keep, and I think they paid Tatum, right, to do the interview with him. Okay, so my thing is this: I think Officer Tatum know what he was doing. He know that any response he does with the president of Israel was going to have a backlash on the white collective here in the West, and he was anticipating this. So I'm not sure if he was doing some apologies or sympathy. I don't know what he was doing, but let's be fair and honest. As long as you pay a coon enough money, they'll sell out.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if he loses a couple of subscribers, I'm not sure what his subscriber base. I think he's at 1 million subscribers because I don't really check his channel. I think he's at a high subscriber base. So really losing a couple thousand maybe here and there is not gonna hurt Officer Tatum, because after they're gone, he's gonna get a new fresh batch, new people subscribe to the channel. That's how YouTube works. You lose a couple of dollars, but you gain a couple more. Because let's be honest, Michi, who goes back and watch the catalog of most people's content? No one. These long streams,
especially if they talk about old topics. You're right. If they're old,
no one's gonna have to, especially news. If you keep recycling new material after this one, they're not gonna catch up. I'm telling you right now. What I did or what you do on YouTube, they're not gonna catch up to it. They're gonna just go skip to a new one. They're gonna, and maybe they will go back to some old, but they're not go back to something that I did like a couple of streams back. They don't waste time. You get me? They want to see new shit. That's how it works, So he lose some subscribers, he's gonna gain it back quickly, because think about it. He knows that by doing this nice little bag, because now smart, he's gonna get a decent check from this. I'm gonna get some new audience here and there, maybe some ones that hate me, but that's all cool. So the people that's talking bad about him say they hate him. He don't care about that, because he did that just to get a bag. Once he gets the bag, he's gonna be on to the next bag. Y'all gonna come back, or I get some new crowd. I'm saying, because most of them, they come there anyways to listen to talk about Negroes anyway. So you're back.
If Tatum lose any subscribers or get any backlash, the Israel just give it back to him, because the Jews own YouTube anyway.
Yeah, they're
on YouTube. They'll promote his video, get him those subscribers
matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised we see him. I see him on my algorithm more that and I'm not subscribed to. I wouldn't be surprised I turn him in my YouTube feed and stuff. I see him on it because they can promote extra now. You get me? Because you're going to see it to talk to the executives. Because, there's a so-called enemy run this now, allegedly, right? They're going to talk to him and say, yo, listen, put this man on the algorithm for me, all right? Do it now. Okay. And then also you see, wait, why is he also Tatum? I know scrap this dude. Why is he pulling my feet? Oh, I see. Damn, you did a good job, my nigga. You're in bed complete with these people now. You're going to be more rich. Just play your part. Don't go out of line, and you'll be fine. You'll survive. But anytime you step out of line, I'm gonna tell you right now, you know what's gonna happen.
Well, shoot, Officer Tatum do not care because you know what I find that these coons all have in common is that Candace Owens is married to a white man and Officer Tatum has a white wife.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Most of them are interracial dating anyway.
No, they that's a fact. They both have white spouses.
White spouse, and they're playing and they're playing the family man very nicely and say, "Oh, look at his family. Oh, I can see why you coon so hard. I understand, brother. I understand. Same for Candace. I understand why you bad went so hard. I understand, sweetie. I understand." And one time when she was kicked off, she tried to come back to the black crowd to build her back up. Ain't that a bitch? Remember when she got kicked off from the other platform? And she tried to look for black people to build up. Remember that?
Yeah, all of a sudden she wanted to come back to her black roots.
And if we're gonna be open arms, well, welcome. I saw some dudes say they did videos on Candace. Said, "Well, yeah, Candace Owens come back to us."
You know what I find interesting about Candace, and then something about Officer Tatum. Yeah. Candace will tell you in a minute, that racism doesn't exist. That's not really that same rhetoric that we heard Charlie Kirk be on, right? She'll say that. But how many of y'all know that Candace Owens had a lawsuit for being discriminated against as a black person in high school? And she had all kind of black activists helping her to pursue that lawsuit because she
heard about that.
She said that she had experienced racism and she got a check for it. And now all of a sudden it doesn't exist. I thought that was interesting. And then with Officer Tatum, he said something that was interesting to me because we all know he's an ex-police officer based on his name. My understanding, he was an officer for 6 years. And he was
that's not even an officer. If you never put 10 years into anything you do, you just
right. I thought that was a short amount of time, and I was wondering why he was no longer on the force. I really wish
that he explain why he's not a police officer.
No, I actually wish I could get my hands on his records to see his disciplinary record, and I'm gonna tell you.
I think somebody should do some research on this because
he said about Charlie. He said, "I'm just so mad," and he was crying, and he said, "I'm mad because it's like you can't do nothing back." Right? Like he wants to do something to somebody for what they did. And that just struck me as the fact he used to be an officer, because him saying that, and every time I hear him talk about these cases, he's always on the side of the going against black people. Even if he's wrong, he never will admit the black person is in the right and the cop is wrong. And I guarantee you, he was one of those officers that if you made him mad, you made him chase you down, you didn't pull over, or you talked to him wrong, he abused his authority plenty. I'm sure the fuck he did. And I would love to see this man's disciplinary record, because I do not believe that he was only officer for 6 years. He ain't got no injuries that he got off the force for.
He ain't put no work.
Like no.
What work you put in? Yeah.
So again, I definitely, I'm sure that he was an officer that was arrogant and abused his authority. And like I said, that it just made me think of that. I understand your friend is dead, but they got somebody in custody. Why do you need to retaliate or do something back? That kind of a mentality that you want to do something to somebody tells me as an officer, if you was arresting somebody, you thought they did something pretty heinous, you might think it was okay to whoop their ass before you put them in handcuffs. Yeah, I definitely believe Officer Tatum was that officer.
Okay.
Towards black people specifically.
Yeah, I think so too. But like I said, I don't know much of his background. Since you tell me that he was an actual officer for only a short period of time, I like to know more about that with him before he started doing YouTube, because usually if you only did this amount of time and then all of a sudden you went to social media and got recognition
and blew up.
And blew up unexpectedly, because most people that do content, especially black men, you just don't blow up overnight. You have to rub the right shoulders, do the right things to get a traction like you did personally. Cause let me tell you something. There are many coons, meatheads that's doing the same thing, but they're not getting like the traction like these dudes are getting. So I'm saying, I hope you're not bending over, Mr. Tate. I don't know if you're doing anything,
I think it's the people that they rub elbows with. Officer Tatum doesn't show it publicly as much as Candace Owens, but they are very involved with the same people politically. Candace was close to Trump, and they both said that Charlie Kirk was like their friend. Like Officer Tatum was crying booger snot, like the way a man don't want the world to see him cry. That's how he was crying. And he said that he was collecting money. He called that man's wife by her first name. He said 100% of the proceeds will help her and the kids. That, you know, I guess his wife and Kirk's wife was friends. Candace was showing pictures and shit of them, like they really spend time together. So yes, they apparently are really, and I think they're really friends with these people. And I think that the reason they've risen so big is because of the connections they have with the white people in politics. I really think that's what it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think that they promote them because they're like, oh, here goes a black person who justifies all of our bullshit. They agree with us. It's our token Negro that, you know, puts that stamp of approval on the bullshit that we say about black people. So they always love those token Negroes all the time. Those are the people they can point and say, I'm not racist. My best friend is Candace Owens. Like, motherfucker, please. My good friend is Officer Tatum. Those aren't black people. No, they don't count.
Yeah, they don't count. They don't count. Yeah.
They don't count. But I think that's why they blew up so big, because of the people that they rub elbows with. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let me go. Take care. And
all right.
Good night.
Well, thank you for coming up. You have a good night too. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right.